What are some of the things that have been on your to-do list for a long time, and how long do you think it'll actually be before you do them? It is Intention Week at Ourrawmaterial. I am Tavish Carduff, here to talk about what creates our intention and then what comes after we make them. The most simple thing we can understand about our intentions is that they come from our emotions. All of the things that we want are born from something that creates a desire within us to have the thing. That's what marketing and advertising has used for years to put products in front of us that we might not otherwise have even known about or cared to have. But as soon as something comes in front of us that's going to create a situation that makes us feel better about anything, we're going to want to try it. So we place a lot of intentions from emotional places around things that we might want. The next thing to understand is that we cannot physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally have everything that we want, at least not in this physical body, in this mind-body connection that we live with. The next thing that makes it helpful to understand what goes on around us is to realize that we can't have everything that we want. There are so many more things that we desire than we will ever be able to have. Once we realize that, we stop judging ourselves for all of the things that we haven't accomplished. And we start to look to the people around us to gain from their experience, not to be concerned that we haven't had that experience ourselves. And it's a juxtaposition of how we approach our desires, but it also helps us use the resources available to us, do what we're passionate about, so that most of the intentions that we follow through on are things that we actually want and that lead us into a deeper understanding of ourselves and the lives that we want to live. That gives us time and space for deciding what we truly want based on our values and ideals, week 7, giving us that picture of what we truly, truly desire, lining up our resources, which is our next week, and then the following week aligning with intention. So a lot of times when we get to intention, we expect to know what we want. Intention gets 2 weeks because it really takes identifying the things that we think we want and putting them together and seeing, do they really match up? Are they really serving us? And so when we get to take that step back, pause, breathe, and take a look at what we are passionate about, not just what we were passionate about in a moment, then we start to see ourselves expand, breathe, and allow things that bring us joy in beyond the things that trip us up and make us bothered. And we just spend a lot more time enjoying what we want instead of making hard choices about how to spend our time. There are times when our intentions get the better of us and we get caught in a loop of trying to decide what things we want. This is where the pillar of values and ideals becomes important. And that list that we have asked you to create in week 7 is something that you can reference when it comes to intentions to see if you are just being triggered in a moment to want something or to not want something, or if it really lines up to the things that your life offers and supports and the things that make you happy, not superficially, but from deep within your heart and soul. Fun fact for me, this is the first day of Intention Week, and this is the first week that I get to put my full intention and attention on our raw material and my healing practice and those kinds of things that I've been building for the last several years. It is nice to be able to figure out what I'm going to do with it and take all of the intentions, all of the things that I've thought about doing, and start to put my resources together, narrow it down, and figure out which avenues I'm actually going to pursue. If I did not have this Ourrawmaterial system in place, I know I'd be struggling to come up with a plan and feel stressed about what's coming. I don't know where my money's coming from all of a sudden. So this is a really interesting way to approach this and to test my own raw material against the practice itself. And so far, it's going great. I'm trusting myself to identify my passions, know where my intentions want to lead me, And really, without my even having to use my brain at all, the right path is just showing up. I'm getting the right phone call, things are being offered to me, and it couldn't be a better suited yellow brick road, if you will, straight to my own passionate, soulful self. Take a deep breath around that, and let's look to the practice guidance for this week. I'm going to ask you to take a step back. Remember the things that you wanted as a kid and ask yourself why you wanted them. Just kind of put yourself back in the mindset of what you wanted and thought. And as silly as it may seem and feel, let yourself go back to the playground. Go back to the imagination. Go back to the things that you desired and wanted and thought life might look like as an adult. Go back to intentions that you maybe aren't fulfilled, maybe are, but go back and revisit the tones and feelings of those intentions. And just let yourself experience the emotion that comes around the things that we want, even if they pass through for a short time or a long time. Think about the trends that we've gone through, things that we wouldn't dream of doing today, but imagine how passionate we were about them all the time and see what part of us they feed. Our creativity, our emotional expression, our individual expression. The possibilities are endless, but take a look into yourself and revisit those past intentions, waking up anything that might currently serve you. Thanks so much for being here. You can catch us on our website, Ourrawmaterial.com, and I will be back next week to talk about resources. Have a great week. Thank you.